Hello everybody! So it's been a while since I gave an update on my orchids, and now I have a new update. Um, well, you kind of saw these guys before, but I have a new one here, which is a very small miniature orchid, and this is the Neofinetia falcata or Vanda falcata. So there you go. So it has like very pristine white flowers, and I really love it because they're so cute. And the good thing, or like the amazing thing about this one, is that these huge flowers, normal size flowers for Vanda falcata, comes out of a very small package of an orchid. As you can see here, it's quite small, right? I mean, this is like a typical mug, alright? And it's a very small plant. Yeah, it's in a slatted plastic pot that it came with when I got it from a raffle from the Neofinetia Facebook group, and I'm so happy just to see the flowers on this one. And they start out as lime green, and eventually would turn white. As you can see here, this is the newest one, and you could still see some tinge of green. Yeah, and they have a nice, very what can I say, very soothing scent. Smells like jasmine. Yeah, jasmine, and yeah, pretty much just like a very mild jasmine scent, and I really like it because it's not overpowering, but it's so just soothing in a way, some sort of like an aromatherapy type of scent. And it's quite surprising because for such a small orchid, that it would actually have something like that as a scent. Alright, so let's try to look at the center of the flower. So as you could see, you could definitely say that it's what you could consider the fukiran, or the samurai orchid. It kind of does look like a warrior in terms of like how it projects its petals. It's like jumping out of the plant. Yeah. And if you would look at this one, the spike, the flower spike, it's not that long. It came out of the biggest growth, the most mature growth there. There you go. And there are numerous like several other growths. So there's one big one there and a medium one and a two smaller ones on this side. Yeah. And I think it just keeps on giving me new growths. When I got this, it only had one growth last year, and now it has numerous numbers now. So what I'm planning to do with this Neofinetia is that I would pollinate it, so I would be able to use the flowers, because I kind of in this zone wherein I don't feel like wasting my flowers by not using them. Like, I will make sure that their biological purpose is achieved by being pollinated and turning into seed pods. So I'm thinking one of those species Vandaceous orchids, and even those phalaenopsis species. I think that would be a great combination, because I have a bank, a pollen grain bank from my previous orchids, and this would definitely fit in greatly with those unique features from the Bandaceous family of orchids. Yeah. So there you go. So that's my Neofinetia falcata, and of course you remember my Miltassia Estrelita Sweet Senorita. It's in full bloom right now. Really nice. Right? And it's in semi-water culture with some bark, because I don't like to because I like having bark in there, so I don't really have to worry about the anchorage, how to make the orchid very stable in its container. And of course, Phalaenopsis Tiny, as you could see there. And there's still a lot of like buds that are still about to open, and the flowers on this one are small, and also the plant is relatively small, but not as small as my Neofinetia. I call this my very, very tiny Vanda. Yeah. Very nice. So there you go. And I would definitely upload my time lapse of these guys here, the Neofinetia and the Phalaenopsis Tiny. And also my video on orchid flasking, and I'm still working on that. And yeah, for those guys who are just watching this for the first time on my channel, make sure that you subscribe so you would get updates on my flasking projects on my homegrown orchids. So this is my way of showing you guys how I'm trying to propagate orchids through seeds. Alright, I think that's one of the most exciting ways of doing it, because you're making new orchids, and not just by dividing them, which is, yeah, it's easier, that's easier, but of course you want something that you will have your own type of orchid that you could name yourself, grow yourself from seed and make them bloom from seed. And as you know that orchids that come from seed, not all seeds are the same. So just like people, seeds are just like siblings, you know. They came from the same parents, but in one way or another they would have traits that would set them different from their sibling. Yeah. So that for me is a very interesting uh, uh, feature of growing from orchid seeds, and that itself makes me motivated to do that, because I like that element of surprise and amazement, and I think it's a very worthwhile hobby aside from growing your orchids. I mean, who doesn't like more orchids, right? And yeah, and you could proudly say that those orchids you help pollinate, reproduce, you know, as how the nature intended them. Flowers are meant to be pollinated, reproduce seeds, and grow new offsprings. Right? So there you go. So thank you for watching this video, and hope you subscribe to my channel. And I would definitely be uploading more orchid videos very soon. Alright. So by the way, in terms of care for these guys, they're not really that difficult. These are my easiest orchids to take care of. I mean, inside the home. They didn't really needed a lot of light to bloom like this. I only have grow lights, and most of the time I forget to turn them on, and still they gave me these flowers. In terms of watering, I just fill these containers with water midway, not entirely the full height, just to keep the moisture. You could see the water on the bottom of this one, and that has water too. So definitely it's not a very laborious or tedious orchids to grow, especially these guys. And yeah, again, thank you again for watching, and hope to see you soon. And happy growing, my orchid friends. Bye!